Yesterday, Citi reporting their earnings, but the bigger news obviously comes a day later, which is the timing's a little bit bizarre, but the news itself, not so much. Vikram Pandit has been at the helm of Citi for 5 years now, and he took it over in a very vulnerable position, separated the bad bank from the good bank, has managed to wind down the assets a huge, significant amount, from something like 850 billion to 170 billion today. But it just hasn't been enough. A new chairman stepped in March. That was the same month Citi failed its stress test, and ever since then, I think it's been in the works. I don't think it's much of a surprise that he's out. I think the timing is more of a question here.
Put this in some kind of historical perspective for us. Citi, the worst bank stock for the past 5 years since the financial crisis, ran up with a lot of really terrible, risky bets during the mortgage securities crisis. What does this mean?
When he stepped in, and after 2008, he took a risk in kind of separating the good and bad bank. And over 5 years, like I said, he did manage to wind it down a significant amount. But now it's hovering around $170 billion in assets on that bad bank side. But at the same time, those same 5 years, the stock has tumbled something like 90%. You've got a track record of 3 and 5 years, and when shareholders see that, it's just not going to be enough to keep your job.
Yeah, I think I ran the numbers, and if you had bought on the day he is named CEO, you're down like 90%. That's nothing to boast about.
Right.
But he did establish a new way, a new direction for them, and it seemed to be headed toward, not the United States.
I think he set up the CEO in a nice way. Corbett has a big challenge ahead of him. Again, the stress test standards will be revealed next month, and they have until something like January to pass that test, and that'll be a big test for the new CEO there.
Tell us a little bit more about the new CEO.
The new CEO is a veteran of Citi. He's been kind of all over the map, and he's been in charge of a lot of different institutional business, everything from banking, credit cards. He took over for Sally Krawcheck when she was ousted in 2008 from the Smith Barney portion of Citigroup. He was in charge of that very important Citi Holdings, that bad bank. You can say that he was the guy that was selling those assets down for them, and now here he is leading the bank. They have some faith in him. So, like I said, this first challenge will definitely be the Fed stress test.
I saw one analyst comment that you've got 2 traditional bankers running the business now instead of a hedge fund guy.
Right, exactly. And as far as Vikram's future, he came from the hedge fund side, and maybe his next step will be to start one up again now that his buddy is leaving with him.